Hello everyone, come on in. Let's have some fun thrifted and vintage goodness discussion. I have had a pile that I have been working on for weeks while I have been doing my studio revamp. I have made a few trips to the thrift store and vintage shops, and so I had a little pile going. So I thought I really need to start distributing this pile, especially as I'm putting some finishing touches, some of these things I picked up, to put some special touches in the other parts of my studio you haven't yet seen yet. So come on in and we are gonna look at all the goodness that's in front of me. We're gonna talk about different ways we can repurpose it, reimagine it, style it, just a few little ideas like I normally do with my thrift and tales, which I haven't done in a while. I've kind of done them here and there, maybe in stories or maybe in a reel, but haven't been live. Well, I did do a little vintage haul not too long ago. That was pretty amazing. But come on in, it's fun. It's fun. I love y'all's enthusiasm for this too, and y'all know it is a passion of mine. Just to be able to, reimagine how we can use some of these things that you see out and about. Obviously, you can flip them, paint them, craft with them, but just some more simple ideas. So you find something you like and you don't want to do a thing to it, but how could we use it? And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Let me get my self pulled up here on the tablet so I can see your beautiful names and your sweet comments. And I know y'all are probably already saying hi. So I'm Summer. If you have never met me, Summer Hammonds. I am coming at you live from my studio in North Louisiana. You should know a few things about me. I like vintage, I like thrifting, I like crafting, I like styling and decorating and making things pretty. And I'm so glad you're here if you're new to the channel. So say hello. If you're watching this later, this replay later on YouTube, you're on Facebook right now. If you see the little live button right there, you're live with me on Facebook. But if you happen to watch that replay over on YouTube, any kind of keywords that I tell you to comment or anything like that will not work on YouTube. So just check the description if there happens to be anything shared. So I never know because I have all these words set up so y'all can get information. But it will work here on Facebook. Okay, hello Gail, Pennsylvania in the house, Cindy and Tish and Cheryl and Janet. I know, isn't it fun, Tanya? So all these little goodies have just been piling up as I have been very distracted with the studio revamp. If you've not been following along, technically I'm on day 20. I kind of imagined it would take 14, 15 days to get the carpet pulled up, the floors placed, the walls painted and all that stuff. Now we're in the settling in phase. So I figured that would take me another couple weeks to get things organized, get things rearranged. And it's really been a fun journey. If you've been following along in stories, you've been kind of seeing it come to life. So, hey, Anna, Whimsically Knotted in the house. How are y'all doing? Happy Wednesday. Oh, Dana, you got your florals from Ruth and Ruby. Aren't they beautiful? They are so pretty. Yeah, so we're gonna look at what I've been piling up here. Here's the thing. So it's fun to share with you what's in my pile. But the thing is, a lot of these items, really similar ones, may be out on your thrifting and vintage journey. And so maybe some things we talk about today will inspire you. That is my hope. That's why I share it. Plus, it's not just me with all the good ideas. You in the comments, all the friends watching on the replay, anything I show, you got an idea, let's hear it. I've got some fun things that I think y'all are really gonna like. A couple of them were very specific to my studio, but then sometimes I will tell you the basket section got me again. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I could just be called the crazy basket lady. But let's get started. I also want to know your opinions. We're in July. Obviously, there's been a lot of Christmas in July that's been shared between projects and entertaining and probably recipes. I don't know. Whoever you follow that might be kind of getting you geared up for some fun Christmas in July. I want to know your thoughts on Thriftmas. Have you ever heard of this? Okay. And the thoughts being, how would you feel? Hey, Tish and Terry, how would you feel? I want you to think about this. I'm going to bring it up again later. How would you feel about receiving a gift from the thrift store? Minding you're into certain things. They know your style, especially if you're into vintage stuff. You have a better chance of finding something I love at the thrift store than in a brand new store. That's just my style. But I'm wondering how you feel about it, especially if I've got one thing that was brand new, did not even have the tags taken off of it, that I think would make a really great gift basket. And I've seen some other people who do thrifting things and they create thrifted gift baskets. And I'm just wondering how you feel about that. I would love to know some opinions on that. If you're like, oh no, that's gross. or if it's something that's right up your alley, especially if they know your personality. So anywho, all right, let's get started. I'm going to show you this big, beautiful basket in a minute. We're going to start off with something really simple. Cannot resist a little container. This is so cute. This actually, I paid 75 cents for this. It still has a little label on it that says business cards and custom calling book. So there were some business cards filed away in here, but these little things are just great for little bitty tiny things you want to store around, but you want to make it cutesy. I haven't even cleaned this off. You see the dust. But I love I can't resist a container like this. The color green was really pretty. 75 cents. Do y'all have any little boxes like this? I've got a bigger one that's a file size. Here, let me show it to you. It's not part of this haul, but it has been very practical and very, very useful. It's a bigger one, obviously, but I keep my rubber stamps filed away in here. This is an old file box. And I'll show some of this whenever I do the final studio tour. But I have little file folders in here, and all my rubber stamps are filed away in there. So it's just putting to use an old file box in a creative way. And so something like this, you could keep maybe your ink. Oh, that's a good idea. I just gave myself a good idea. I've got a big old basket that has all my other wooden rubber stamps and my ink pads. I bet you I could stack my ink pads in here. This looks like a pretty good little size box for that. So I just like thinking about stuff like that. So Yolanda says, absolutely, a gift from the thrift store is perfect for me. Diane, that is so true. Baskets are great to find at the thrift store for next to nothing. And you can at least get the basket from there, right? Even if you could do a mix, you know, you could mix it up and put something new and something thrifted, you know. All right, this little piece, I gave $6 for it. I love this. I can't wait to do something fun with this. It's just an old architectural piece. It's legit, very pretty, lots of character, but I'm just wondering, I don't really have any grand ideas for this other than I just loved it. Imagine just hanging it on the wall, and you could obviously like decoupage and make a whole craft out of it, but you could just like screw a hook on here, hang it on the wall, hang a dish towel, hang a hand towel. Lots of things you could probably do this one. Put a little clip and display a family photo. That would be really cute. So I love these little architectural pieces like that. Hey, Vonda, you have one similar? It is a great way to organize. It really is, because it keeps all that stuff that looks really busy that you don't want to look at maybe, especially when you have a room like a craft studio, a pantry, bathroom, where you end up with a lot of little stuff you don't want to look at because it looks cluttered. Then you put it in cute little containers, and then it just levels up the look. So, all right, let's keep going. This is so fun. I could not resist. I was like, I thought this was just the box, but turns out, y'all, there are some in here. These are old No Sting brand, made in the USA, paper clamps. There were originally 50 in here, though I don't think there's 50. There's a special kind of something growing in here. I don't know. We're going to ignore that part. We're going to talk about the charm of these beautiful, don't make them like this anymore, paper clamps. Okay, so it has taken me years to kind of curate a cozy, character-filled home. It has. It does not happen overnight. Let me assure you of that. But you get to this layer of, I wanted to get rid of certain pieces of furniture that weren't character enough for me and replace them with vintage goodness, you know? And then now I'm starting to pick up and pay more attention to the little things. For instance, the hardware at my desk, you know, just because it actually makes me happy to pull out something vintage and still usable like this. So, I mean, and put some papers on it. So little photo holders, even if I don't use them for what they have, that's a great idea. I wonder if it's, yeah, I feel like you could find a lot of really creative ways to use these. A songbook, it is. Would you like to see a close-up of that, Yolanda? I did this years ago. This is an old songbook. Yes. It's an old songbook. I had it command stripped to the wall. And I opened it up, and my sister had gifted me this picture of my daughters. It's one of my favorite pictures of my little girls. And I decided to display it on the book like that, and then I hung it on the wall. But since I took away my studio set up the way it was, I decided to restyle it. Isn't that the sweetest little, it's my favorite picture. My girls, they are now 16 and almost 11. So they were like 4 and 9 maybe in that picture. I'd have to go back and look. But anyway, I just tucked it back there and decided to display it a little different. Okay. That's a great idea. Stephanie says she used those clamps on a garland. Thank you. I love my table. I love it so, so, so much. I do love the older things. Okay. So I don't have any specific ideas, but I love some things I'm seeing in the comments about those. So I'll put that to the side. All right. I'm doing some of the small stuff, then I'll show the big stuff. Can you believe I don't own one of these? But this is one of those little old-fashioned, the pins for the receipts, and what else would it be? Receipts or tickets. You could just put, they would like pin it and it would be stacked. But I was thinking about a lot of different things. So obviously it's a little sharp, so maybe putting it with a dish towel, it might get hung up. But I was thinking make a cute towel holder. It would also make a really cute twine holder. So you could just hang it on the wall and have your twine. You know, who doesn't need another cute way to display twine? I have so many of them. A roll of ribbon or anything like that. But here's something I really love, and I'm like, ooh. And then you could even mount this. We could even take, you know, something else really cool and like mount that on there. Look how pretty that is. Just hang with me. Okay, so say we combine the two and marry them into extra special goodness. Hey, Kimberly. Thank you, Michelle. Canada in the house. Hi, Esther. And then take a candle wreath. Look how beautiful that is. I'm trying to hold it all together since it's not. But wouldn't that be such a pretty display on the wall? Or maybe even just a really unique door hanger. Something kind of different that you don't see all the time. So there's a lot that I could do with that, but I just kind of want to show you that idea. I like combining the idea of these two. For sure. Okay, so, and I did something for the first time that I've never done, y'all. Y'all have to stay tuned because I bought a grab bag because I only wanted like 3 things in here, and I'm turning around and donating everything else. I'm going to open it up and then show you. We're actually going to discover what's in there because I can't see everything. I'm excited to add to my collection. This is like a little paperweight or weight. It's very, very heavy. Very, very heavy, but has a little green felt on the bottom. So I'm going to use that over at my desk, or I don't know what I'll end up using it for. But I have a few vintage weights and I love collecting them. What are some fun things that y'all could think about using these little weights for around the house besides the obvious? I would love to hear some ideas. Yeah, isn't that fun? And sometimes that accidentally happens, and she said I like that you combine the two. When things are just piling up and sitting around, you kind of just look at it like a little creative pile, you know? Let me get a sip of drink real quick, okay? I was scared I was going to knock it over, so I didn't keep it in front of me. Hey, Stephanie, how are you? Okay, here's a fun one. I bought this specifically for my studio. It's an old paint can. Oh, isn't that the cutest? Old rusty paint can. I gave $5 for it. I mean, who knows what the label was on it and how old it really is, but they make them different now. A lot of them are plastic. So the obvious thing was maybe to put some paint brushes in it. I'm gonna give y'all a couple of different ideas. Y'all tell me. I got these longer paint brushes, which is super duper cute. Just setting around. I mean, that gives a lot of character just inside a studio, you know. Thank you. But it's just a fun bucket in general. So I also thought it might be cool, but you'd have to have a drain hole. I thought it'd be a really pretty planter. I just picked up this plant. I gotta find something to put in it. Nothing right now, Cheryl. Nothing is in that card catalog. Except I do have some drawers down here that have little trays of dried flowers. Can you see the dried flowers? So I do have several drawers filled up with those. So anyway, if I could get it to do just right, I think it would be really pretty with a planter, made into a planter. So a paint bucket, I think that just adds a lot of character, especially to a studio, right? I bought it specifically for my studio. I think we need a thrift and drip too. Let me see if anybody wrote any fun napkins for when it's windy. So that's what I wanted to see. Holding your vinyl down, that's cool. Hey Terry, I'm glad you love that. Okay, and oh, I don't know what that was. There's something set up in my studio now since we unhooked all the computers, and it talks back to me, so I need to figure out what that is.
I found is Computer Solutions on Farmerville Highway in Ruston.
Off.
Is that the one you want?
I don't know what that is. I don't know what it's talking to me. I have no clue whatsoever. Okay, and I'm not just playing. I really have no clue. All right, so here is why I asked you about the Thriftmas thing, or receiving thrifted gifts too.
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh my goodness gracious. I don't know what's happening. Y'all. If y'all haven't yet, would you please throw heart, say something if you haven't told me you're watching. Ooh, yeah, I like it. So floral display for sure. I mean, some pretty flowers in here. I could see that. Really pretty. Some ripped fabric on the handles or something. I love that idea. So cute. I wish I had a bunch of flowers right in front of me right now. Do you? Ooh, hold on. I have these I can steal out of my little goose back here. I just love seeing it all different ways. These are those blooms that Dana was talking about she got from my friend over at, I had shared about them. That's so pretty. Those look really pretty. That's cute, cute, cute. I just wanted to show you that real quick. I'll put them back in my little goose. Those are those chalice blooms. They are so gorgeous. Okay, this is what I was talking about with Thriftmas. I found this bread and bun warmer, brand new with a tag on it. Obviously had never been used. And I just thought it was so charming. So I was thinking, oh, if I knew someone that liked to make bread, I could put, you know, in a basket, dish towel and this, and maybe a bread cookbook. And, you know, just kind of, I don't know, not that it has to be brand new. Look, I love it though. Gave $2.80 for it. Has a little instructions on the back on how to heat it up. I could clean it, probably. I'm not, but I just thought it was really charming. That's why I was asking how y'all feel about thrifted gifts, because I was considering doing that. You don't see comments, Melanie? Come out and come back in. South Dakota storming. Well, hunker down, Linda. Ooh, small spindles. I love that idea. That's a cute idea too. So Donna says she loves receiving thrifted and homemade. It's anytime my favorite things to receive ever. Yes. Yes, I agree. I could not leave this bucket. It was so beautifully patinaed. It was perfect. I gave $2.75 for it. Obviously, you immediately think about it being a planter, but I don't know what I'll end up putting in here, but I just thought it was really cute. So I also think it would, I don't know, I feel like you could use it as maybe a riser or a pedestal stand for a big piece of decor or something too. I don't know, maybe even put the plant on it different. I have some plants over here that I was gonna show you. I forget why I even brought these plants over here. I mean, I really did forget why I brought these plants. I brought them for good reason, but I love the idea of like making it like a riser. Maybe it was just that I was going to put that in there to show you. I have no idea. Oh, I know why I brought the plants. I hadn't got to it yet. But anyway, so obviously it would make a really cute planter. This is one of my little, I think it's an Easter cactus. I'm not really sure. I've had it for a long time. I know why I brought the plants over here. I remember that. There's just a lot to look at. Let's see. I love hearing from y'all. I just gave my mother-in-law a cute vintage painted chicken. I told her, be honest if you hate it, but I think it's cute. She loved it. Oh, you'll see if it's still up when you go over next time. Ooh, that's a cute idea. Snowman hat. Hey, Debbie. Okay, I want to host one of these this year. Terry, I love that you brought this up. I want to host a thrifted gift exchange, but I don't know. I'd have to have my people that really into all that. So that's you guys, and we're all over the nation and the world. So yeah, that is super fun. I like the hat idea too. It's cute, cute. Okay, what else was I gonna think? I gotta open my mystery bag. Let me grab these two things back here. I got some smalls that wouldn't fit on my table in front of me. I can't remember. Some of this stuff I may have showed in a reel, but I know I didn't live haul it with y'all. So, got this old coffee grinder that I thought was really neat. It's just a piece of it, you know. I just love the charm. I feel like this could be fixed up in a way that it could be used as a cool hook on the wall. I don't really know. It's really neat. Or just displaying things. They don't have to be completely repurposed, but I just love just the engineering of the mechanical things. So cool. It's so cool. I guess it goes like this because it would go in here and spit out here. So, pretty cool. Love it, love it, love it. Lots of character for sure. And I could not resist this cute little sifter. It was just like, I want to be the base of a Christmas tree. That's what it told me when I picked it up. It was like, I want to be the base of a Christmas tree. So then I'm thinking, just plop a little fake Christmas tree in here. So cute. It's just perfect. Or an arrangement. It's super cute. What brand is this one? Good Housekeeping. Good Housekeeping magazine approved. I guess they got some stamp of approval, which is pretty cool. How much did I pay for that grinder? Let me see if there's a price tag on it. I know I wouldn't have paid that much. It was on a clearance thing, so maybe a few dollars. Maybe. Here's another little planter. But it could be used for anything, but I thought, oh, see, I gotta pot this and put it in the studio somewhere, so I bought this little ivy. I bought another one too that's really cute. And if any of y'all have this kind of plant, tell me how big it's gonna get. I don't really know. But I know that they do well with just whatever kind. I think this is a pothos ivy. I don't know which kind this is. I don't know how big it'll get. But anyway, you can make anything a planter. I just don't know how big it's gonna get, so I have to transfer it. They have a story to tell, you know, like, I don't know how long this stuff's been out here, but it's so cool. Here's a tip for you. If you do love rusty, but let's just say, for instance, I'm just gonna do this as a crazy example. It might be a really crazy example. It's pretty dirty. I'd have to clean it, obviously. But this rust is super authentic. And let's say that I wanted to roll up, this is crazy because I probably wouldn't put this in the bathroom, but let's say I wanted to roll up dish towels, or little washcloths, and roll them up and display them in the guest bathroom or something, or maybe a couple towels and some soaps, I don't know. But once you get your rusty thing cleaned up, give it a couple coats of just clear spray. That really helps to protect from that rust transferring to anything that you put in there. Just in case you didn't know. A lot of y'all, I'm sure, do that. This is a pretty frame. I couldn't resist. I don't even think, it probably came from Hobby Lobby or something, but it has some beautiful rusty spots going on it. So I thought, well, see, this goes with my vibe. You can see that. You can see that. Just a good little frame. But frames can be used in all different kinds of ways, y'all. I could put something else in the middle here and use it as a little riser. I could put some little feet on it, put a little insert in it, and use it in a lot of different ways. So I think frames are fun. Frames are really fun to get creative with. Ooh, a cute fabric. Yes, Melissa, if I knew how to sew. But yes, that's a good idea. Plenty of y'all probably know how to do that. And I probably could just do a little DIY one, huh? I love that plant in the kettle too. That may end up staying there for sure. But don't y'all love the Christmas tree idea? I think I'm gonna put this in my kitchen for Christmas. And put a little fake Christmas tree in it. Maybe a real Christmas tree. That would look pretty cool. Okay, speaking of, we were talking about plants. I'm gonna save my baskets for last. We were talking about plants. I'm gonna go ahead and dive into this bag real quick and tell you, whenever you can get some thrifted little saucers for real cheap, y'all are a thrifty, creative bunch. Some of y'all probably already do this. But there were just some really good, and when I say clearance, these beautiful plates, little saucers, these are England ware. I don't know what you would call that. This is what the stamp says. But just really pretty set. I can imagine it all set up on the table, but here's the thing. Things get broken. You know, then you got all these little lost saucers that nobody wants, so I want to adopt them. So I'm trying to think of all the different kinds. Ooh, I forgot I bought this. But here's just the saucer. So I bought like a little side dinner plate and a little bowl. They were like $1. I think this one, yeah, this one was $1, $1.50. So I got several of those, and I got them with intentions of like leveling up the look of my little terracotta pots. And that's exactly why I went and got these plants. Because I think they look way stinking cuter with a saucer. Have y'all priced plant saucers? If they're not plastic, even if they're terracotta, or if they're nicer, my goodness, I'm like, they are proud of their saucers. So I love the look of mixing a terracotta pot with a fun saucer like that. And that's why I got the smaller ones. That's why I got the smaller ones, because y'all look, my giant aloe vera plant that's been alive forever and a million years. I think he needs a repot, but still. So how much cuter is it with a little saucer like that? I do think he needs a repot. He's probably outgrown himself. But I do a decent job of, and I think I'm going to get some blooms on this cactus. I do a decent job of taking care of my plants. I'm not the best plant mom in the whole world. Do not come look at the plants outside my house at the current moment, because we've been fighting this Louisiana heat. Whew, it's hard. I'm going to put these to the side. So they are so much cheaper to find little saucers that you love than to go buy brand new plant saucers. Especially if you like that little bit of an eclectic style, a little bit more personality. And this one was just one I happened to find that I thought was really pretty. And you could use this as a saucer of a plant, but you could use it as a jewelry tray. You could use it for your pins. I've got a little cute little thing over here that has all my pins on it for my bow area. I could just put some pins in there so they're easy to grab, stuff like that. And y'all tell me what other ways you would use a little saucer like this besides the obvious. They make a pretty base. You could add a base on here. I don't have anything in front of me right now. If you had a little candlestick or something like that, make a really pretty pedestal. This was just one of those. It caught my eye. I just love the way it was shaped. Gave a couple bucks for that. Okay. And here's the thing too. I'm not sure whether you're a thrifting fan or not. I'm not sure whether you're like, ooh, nasty. But I'm assuming you're hanging out, you're watching, and you love it a little bit. I just think you have a better shot at finding stuff you love for a huge fraction of the price. And it just makes your home feel a little bit more collected and just personality, you know? So, love these canisters. They need to be cleaned up pretty severe. I'm not sure I'm actually going to use them in the kitchen. And I know that they say flour and sugar, but I'm thinking about using them in the studio for storing something. But aren't they so pretty? Look at the copper lid and the wooden top. I need to clean them up. They got some nasty spots on them. How much should I give? $1.75 I gave for this one. And then this taller one. Hey, Maria. You make the outdoor. Yes, so I have saucers all over my outdoor. Not that that's helping me any during the July heat. And this one says flower. And I gave $1.75 for it too. So they priced them the same. And it has the same little top. They immediately drew me in. I love it so much. Love them. So let me put these to the side. How else would I? Here's the thing. If I put flowers in them, I don't want the lid. I would have to display the lid. And I do think flowers would look very beautiful in here. Let's steal our flowers back here from our little goose guy real quick again. Obviously, I think these would be really pretty with flowers in them. I'm not trying so hard, you know. I need some longer stemmed ones, but you get the idea. And I guess when I displayed them, I could just, you know, set the cute little lid next to it. Do y'all do that when you have a cute lid and you don't want to lose it? I don't want it to get too far and lose its original container mate. So turn them around and you won't see the flour sugar. I know, I just love the little charm of the tag. So that was hard for me to be like, I know that's back there. I guess I would just know. But yeah, I could easily turn them around in the studio and just store stuff in them. And if y'all didn't see I'm a crazy label making lady. I could put some other labels on them. Whatever I put in here. So let me set these to the side. Are y'all having fun so far? Got so many different ideas we've been sharing. It's been really fun. All right, let me get through this stuff. Be looking for Christmas. If your thrift store has a Christmas section, there is so much being donated. People are cleaning out stuff. People are purging this summer. And so you're going to see the Christmas sections will start getting full before Christmas. I gave $1.75 for this, and I just think of a little sweet red bow or tartan, say that, the plaid bow, tartan plaid, and do something cute with that. Bells hanging. I don't know. It's just a sweet little, you don't see a lot of those. I don't find a lot of those anyway. Ooh, they sure would, Cindy. Hook on the side for a lid. That's a good idea. I probably could. Just so that I don't lose it, you know. I like that idea. Buttons. Oh, I got to show y'all my button jars. Look. And I can't wait to just show y'all all the little cozy spaces that the studio, but I redid my buttons into a cuter look. They were in plastic jars that I bought them in, but I just had some little random mason jars, and I got these little jar toppers from I'm making sure I say it right, factorydirectcraft.com, and they fit your standard mason jars, and they're so cute. So they're rusted out metal, and so I bought several, and I like the way this looks now over in my little area where I keep all my stuff. Okay, so let's keep going. I do have a collection of mug racks, and if you've ever seen how I use my other mug rack, I don't want to forget to show y'all that. I have a crazy collection of scissors, but it's okay. But this is the way I've showed y'all that I use my other mug rack. And I use it for all of my, over here I got some baby scissors. I've got like leather scissors, rotary tool cutters, my nice fabric scissors, some random. That's a really good use for these because, you know, they hang really nicely as long as you just balance them out. That's a cute idea. You can also do some rolls of spools of different types of twine. If you wanted to, that would look kind of cool. See, that one fits on there. It would just depend on the spool that you had. I could see the different spools on there. That'd be really cute for a little gift wrapping station or a garden station or something like that. Don't pass those up when you see them. They're awesome. Okay. Oh, Rodney, you know, I hear that. I know everybody's got different thrift store prices, and I have certainly experienced thrift store price shock, sometimes even in my own happy thrift stores. But, you know, you come down to Louisiana, do some shopping. Oh, yes. So there's all kinds of fun ways you can do. You just saw those. Yes. So get them, Susie. They weren't priced very much at all, I didn't think. What do you need for, oh, those would be pretty for candles, Mandy. Western Grace in the house. Connie said, love thrifting. Also bargain hunt on the TV right now in the background. Oh, fun. Hey, the crackled cupboard. How are you, Stephanie? Okay, so I'll tell you why I got this little guy. I don't know what I gave. I think $1. I think y'all might can guess. I'm going to give y'all just a minute to guess while I show you another basket, what I'm going to do with this. You're getting a little sneak peek of what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, but it's just such a cute idea. So this basket just looks slightly ordinary, but look at the little tiny handles. Oh my gosh, I just can't stand the cuteness. I cannot stand it. It is so adorable. So a basket like this, look how nice. If you know someone that, you have to give it a good cleaning, but if you know someone that likes a little vintage look, this would make a great gift basket. I got this basket too, and I plan to use it as a planter outside, maybe on my back patio table. Put some of that like moss in it and all that stuff. Or maybe use it for fall for a little mum. Would be really cute. Line it. You know, you could line it with that clear liner or whatever. I might clip these off. I'm not sure. But I love a hand-woven, handmade looking basket. I cannot resist it. Here's what I'm going for. I am going for when I have an estate sale, that the line is like down the highway. That you got to come in and see all this basket goodness for sure. Yeah, Goodwill's, you know. Yes, Lori got it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a pumpkin. So I'm going to turn it upside down. put a little stem on it, some leaves, a tag, moss, probably all the good stuff, and do a little flip on that and just put it to use like that, because I think I would love to display that. So I'm gonna have to put that on my to-do crafting list. Oh. Yeah, that's a good idea. I love that. Okay. So yeah, Mandy, in case you didn't know, that's my life, that is my life mission. To have the best estate sale ever. I did score some really pretty books and hymnals, half off. So, and some old cookbooks. I got Quail Country, the Huntsville, Alabama Heritage Cookbook, and the Plantation Cookbook. Here's another thing. I do love the art on front of this one, so I don't think I'm going to be able to. And that yellow's not, I'm not loving that yellow like super great. I love yellow, but I don't love that shade of yellow. But sometimes when I'm thrifting books, I'll open up the jacket and I'll see what it looks like. I just really love this art. So I think it's really pretty. But I don't know, I could go either way. So I usually look at that and take the book jacket off. So I got those. These are some song books. So got 2 hymnals. This one's a really pretty deep green. You probably can't see it through, maybe you can. Deep green, very, very pretty. And this one, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but it was like 50 cents. Yeah, it was on clearance, no, 25 cents. So it's just a Baptist hymnal. Even if I craft with it, because it looks like it's, I don't know. I have a hard time talking myself into doing that. People have gifted me old hymnals that are already ripped out, but I've never actually taken it out of one that was together. This one looks like it's currently being binded with some duct tape though. I don't know if that's duct tape or just old-fashioned stuff. So then here's a little songbook for junior and high school. I use books for decorating all the time, y'all. I've got stacks of them everywhere. I use them as risers under my lamps. I use them just to provide texture. Sometimes I turn them around so you can see the pages. It's just very beautiful. They work, and I like having them all different sizes. The last one I got, it's pretty cool. Oh, I love that. She sang from that hymnal many times. Ooh, that would be cute. You're right. Let's go check that out. That would be cute. A little bit more of a stem. That'd be cute. I see where you're going with that. I see where she's going with that. Providing like a little pumpkin look. I got you. I got you. You see things creatively. I love that. Okay, and this one's an old syllabus of English literature, which I can't hardly pass up an old literature book. I gave $2 for this one. I like the old literature and the composition and any of the school books. Typically grab those because well, number one, I actually do like looking inside of them. And so this looks like a bunch of poetry and just, studying English literature. I just think it's a pretty color. I love that brown color. So I shop by color first, and then I decide if I like whatever it is, the title. All right, I got 2 more things to show you. And I'm trying to decide to save what for last. Let's open my fun grab bag. Okay, like I said, I don't shop the bags. No offense to anyone who does. I typically don't even pay attention to them. But this particular day, I think this grab bag really wanted me to have it because this was showing in the corner. So I'm going to show you what was showing in the corner, and I was like, ooh. And then I started kind of trying to see what was in here because they'll just throw stuff. And I think I realized there were 3 of them in here. And the bag was only like $2.50. I was like, easy. But I'll just turn around and donate whatever I don't want. So let's open it together. Oh, that is a beautiful hymnal, Sue. I just love that. I love old hymns. I prefer singing old hymns. Much more of an old soul when it comes to church stuff too. Okay, so some pink tulle. I actually do have a basket full of tulle because I use this to wrap kids' birthday gifts and things like that. I don't even know how they decide what goes in a grab bag, but let's brunch. Okay, that'll go back to the thrift store. Holy guacamole. Oh gosh, that one's gonna go back to the thrift store. This is a cute little basket, not my style. It'll go back to the thrift store unless I wanted to paint it. I could flip it. I could flip that. That has potential. Ooh, maybe I knew this was in here. These are wooden stamps. Let's dive into those in just a minute. I'm even more excited. These little frames have hooks on them. Okay, this is an M, a little initial something. I have nobody in my family immediate. Well, I do my brother, but he wouldn't like that. He's Michael. Okay, I don't know what this is. I have zero clue what this is. I do not know. Random. Super random. Okay, let's look at all these rubber stamps and then I'll show you the frames. Then I got one more thing to show you with a styling idea. Kind of styling idea. It's more like a storage idea. Okay, these look like wooden stamps. Okay. They kind of look more like elementary, maybe. They're like sight words, is what I would guess. You got two can, I mean, you can make sentences. Two can in, so let's see, two can in is my, am, boy, he, the love. I think that's what it is. It just looks like really simple words. Book. Oh, I'm gonna keep these. I like these. Going in my rubber stamp collection. Okay. Hanging awnings. Oh, some kind of tool. An avocado wings. Holy guacamole. It's an avocado angel. Okay, so here's what I really bought. That goes with the tool. Here's what I bought this grab bag for, but it looks like I got a bonus of rubber stamps and maybe a basket that I might keep, but maybe not. Look how cute these are. They are 2 by 2 inches and they have a little hook on them. Look how cute they are. So there were 3 of these. Worth it. Totally worth it. Those are adorable. Those will make sweet little Christmas ornaments. Just sweet little decor. I love it. You could attach the metal piece to a little crate from the Dollar Tree. You could. I'll let somebody else do that at the thrift store when I take everything back. So I got a few things I'm gonna drop off. I already have 5 bags of stuff in the back of my car right now because we cleaned out kitchen cabinets. The girls took a bag out of their bedroom. All right, so we are feeling extra donatey lately. Okay, ooh, I'm a little hot. Running around getting excited about all this thrifted stuff. It's been so much fun. Okay, my last big, beautiful find is this, oh, so gorgeous cottage basket. And if y'all know, baskets just make me smile. They make me happy. I have gotten much more selective with the baskets that I come home with. So they're all pretty special to me. I have a collection of just some ordinary vintage ones. But here's how I'm actually going to put this to immediate use once I get it cleaned up. I had this underneath, my craft table. And y'all know I'm not crazy about plastic bins. My goal for this studio revamp would be to have everything, if it's plastic, it needs to be put in cabinets or closets. If it's out, then I want it to be pretty. So when I take a picture, video, whatever, that it's all just aesthetically pleasing. It was just a goal of mine because I've just never had that goal. So I have all this yarn, and you know, my girls can do a little bit of crochet knit stuff, but I just use it for crafts. But I immediately thought, I am going to move all of this yarn into this cute little basket and tuck it underneath this table. So I'm going to display all of this. I have one little that's going to stick out like a sore thumb. And I need to wrap it better. But it's red. But good for Christmas, you know. But I just thought this will be a perfect yarn display basket. So that's what I'm going to do with it. What do y'all think about that? I love cottage baskets, especially for linens and all kinds of stuff like that. Oh, somebody's saying something about the stamps. Let me see. I know someone who's selling a set of those stamps for $50. Really? Wow. Chloe, yeah, I do. I just went through a big clean out and got rid of a bunch of stuff. I do challenge myself to let go of things. My vintage collection is a little hard. I have a nice little vintage storage room. But I do trade things out. Meaning, I'm like, okay, that's been there for a while, so I'm gonna get something else new to look at, you know? And I just like the collection. So, what do y'all think about my new and improved yarn basket? Is that not the cutest? Okay, and I got 2 more, yeah. I don't know what kind of yarn this is. My girls must have picked this out. They'll sometimes, you know, get stuff. Oh, this must have been a scarf that I saved that kind of looked like yarn. I'll have to tie that up, make it look nice. But you get the idea. This one's, oh, humongous. I'm trying to think of what I even bought this for. I'll have to do this later. Anyway, okay, we won't worry with that one, but you get it. That one needs to be recoiled. So just trying to level up the look and making everything a little prettier. That is my goal. And so now, to me, this is aesthetically pleasing than a plastic tub, and I'll just tuck it under my basket and it'll go with the whole cute and cozy look. So I think, let me double check. I think that that's all that I had pulled to show y'all. That's my recent pile of things. This stuff's been piling up for probably over a month now. So this is just what I've gotten, you know. And I don't always, I love going to the thrift store, but I leave empty-handed pretty often too. So where are you taking your stuff so I can go get it? I donate to the Rollin' Hills in Ruston. That's where I get a lot of this stuff too. But this is a mixture of places. Yeah, baskets are so pretty. They just add, this one happens to add some pretty color pop. It adds texture and just warmth and coziness, which I love so much. See, Donna, if I actually crocheted or knitted or whatever, I probably would need an additional storage solution, but this is just my crafting yarn for various little things, like if I need a pom-pom tail on something or whatever. So, it's been fun. I hope that y'all are inspired, that you got your wheels spinning, maybe when you're out and about, something you maybe already had in your stash or your collection, and different ways that you can style it and use it. And I do love sharing my love for that with y'all. It's been nice spending this time with y'all. Make sure that you are connected with me. You can type the word connect if you want to hop on my email list. You can also type the word channel if you want my free broadcast channel alerts that let you know when I'm going to be live. And that way we can stay in touch. This brown cabinet right here has nothing in it but some pressed flowers and trays down there. I just got this moved into place and I just cleaned all the catalog cards out of it. Speaking of that, look how cute he is. We made this in my Creative Nest Crafting Club yesterday along with some other things. This is Dewey, for Dewey the Decimal. One of our Creative Nest sisters came up with that. But this is Dewey the Snowman. And we made him with some catalog cards. And I don't even know, thousands. I'm sending them to a lot of my Creative Nest members just as happies. But I cleaned out all these drawers. And, whew, anywho, he turned out so cute. He's just cut out and he's decoupaged and then he's embellished. He has kind of a moody look, which I love. It's a real pretty color. I don't know if y'all know the fusion paint color. This is called Everett. I think it's a real pretty color. Kind of green, kind of blue, depends on how you're looking at it. But he turned out so cute. Anyway, so yeah. All right, well, it has been a fun evening. Thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for your enthusiasm and all your ideas that you shared. I'll be back live with you soon. And as soon as I possibly can, I will give you the full Angelita tour of the new studio revamp. We're on day 20 today. I expect to be done hopefully by the end of this month or the first week of August with all the little touches. So that's what's important to me too, just getting everything where it feels good. So, all right, well, I will talk to y'all later. Have a great evening. Bye, y'all.